Aloha, guys. Happy Monday. And we've got, okay. I have been having an interesting time. They can get their goodies now. I've been giving them Cheetos and holding off on the good stuff until we actually hit live. And but now that we've hit live, they can get the goodies. Where are you going, Cassie? Okay, she's gonna go up there. Yeah, you all gonna go up there and oh God. By the way, I think Cassie's getting ready to go into heat again, so this should be interesting to say the least. But um I those of you coming in, and I know it's gonna take a little bit to get a couple people in right now, but I have been following Soraya's case over the weekend, and I'm gonna let you guys know something. I'll probably say this again in a few minutes here. I have not seen myself get so frustrated in a case before. Very seldom do it. Hey, Robbie, how you doing, my dear? Happy Monday. And I have so seldom found myself getting to the point where I am so mad, and I'm doing that while I'm watching about Soraya, and I'm watching what the parents, okay, of Aaron Ong, okay, by the way, who we're talking about is right now, who I'm talking about right now is here. Soraya is the 2-year old, and then we have Aaron Ong, and then we have Soraya's maternal side of the family. So yes, this is a custody case, and very custody cases get nasty. But guys, what I've been seeing in the character assassination that I see happening here, this has nothing to do, in my eyes, with the character of anyone right now. It's the fact that we got a 2-year old who's still missing, and it seems like only one side of the family seems to care about getting that baby home and that baby safe. And also, it's been a long time since I found myself getting that angry at a case, and I'll probably go back. I did post, actually, if you look at what's pinned up at the top in the chat, there is a GoFundMe that her maternal side of the family has put together. They are the ones working right now with the FBI, the police, the marshals, all of that to get Soraya home safely. And anyone who's ever dealt with, hey, dear, I love you. Love you, love you, love you, my dear. Anyone who's ever followed a missing person, people ask, why do families go doing GoFundMe's? It's because of the amount of money that actually goes into trying to find a loved one. Okay, it's not just, okay, go out and post posters. Well, every one of those posters have to be printed. That costs money. And you're not talking just one poster here or there or things like that. You are talking about large numbers of posters if you're going to do it correctly. Give you an idea, one of the greatest things I saw put together, okay, was this morning. This is Maria Gomez Perez. We talked about her about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and she has now been missing, and they have upped the reward now. However, I woke up this morning to a message on one of the boards that someone ordered DoorDash, Uber Eats, okay, whatever you want to call it. They ordered food to be delivered. And when the food got delivered to their house, what did they see taped to the front of that bag? A poster. This is why families need money when their loved one goes missing. Every one of these pieces of paper costs money. Okay, families are out of jobs, and anyone who's ever been out of jobs for a while because of medical reasons, because of family dynamics, because of whatever it is, you know how expensive bills are. And that's what these families do. Like right now, in the case of Soraya, you've got this little girl who has gone missing with her dad and her dad's fiance, and mom is trying to find this little girl. She could be in Mexico right now. That's what they are thinking. They saw the vehicle, okay, going into Mexico. So very, very high probability on that. And so it's not a case of just posting posters locally. Sometimes when you know it's a local case, you can probably get by just posting posters at local restaurants and, okay, stores and all those things. But when you're dealing with cases like Soraya's, where the police themselves have said she is most likely in Mexico. Hey, Lil, how you doing, my dear? Welcome, 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 my dear. Yep, prayers for sure. Prayers for sure, because that's the most powerful thing we got out there is God. And praying for each and every one of these cases. And we're going to have a couple different cases going on here. But there right now, if there's any chance of finding her, okay, good possibility. Someone who is visiting Mexico, going to some resort village or something like that, okay, is probably going to see a poster and recognize them in Mexico. In Maria's case, okay, this little 12-year-old who has gone missing, okay, from Gainesville, Georgia, may be a victim of trafficking right now. Okay, it's very well believed that she may have contacted the wrong person who grabbed her, and who knows where they are right now. So one of these types of posters that cost 6 cents a piece of paper make a big difference. Keshaun's been gone for a whole year. After a year, a person can be anywhere. And I'm still holding hope out for Keshaun. We talked about Keshaun last year, and we're going to talk about him again tonight. We're going to start with some of the other cases. Lil, I hope you hang out with us through that, because what I do want to do is go back through the press conference. We're going to play the full press conference from 2 months ago, because there's some really good stuff in that conference. That press conference made a lot of really fair comments that are important for all of us. And the biggest of all of those comments is, the more we can keep someone's face out there, the better. Hey, Thea, how you doing, my dear Thea? And because could you see if people, okay, in Cleveland has a huge issue with missing people, missing teenagers right now. In fact, scary how many they have, okay, missing in that area. It's almost at the same level, like we're going to talk about the new Texas, okay, missing case. That one, I don't see the fishing person going on, okay, like we've had with Caleb and everyone else. But with Michael, you have, again, the same college areas. Not saying that the college is being aimed for anything, but we are having these same areas popping up regularly. Hey, Lioness, how you doing, my dear? Aloha, my dear. Welcome. And is Robbie stalking you? Is that it? I love it. I love it. By the way, Robbie, I loved your latest Karma breaking news. That gave me laughs like I haven't had in a long time. Okay. You know, fun laugh. If we can't laugh, we've got enough hell and shit going on in our lives to not be able to laugh and try to bring some levity to stuff. You've been stalking her all day. I should have known. And also, I did want to bring this up because Maria's poster coming out like that is important. And this is one thing the Gainesville, Georgia people have shown us, is how a community can come together and help support a missing person. Okay, we've talked about Maria here. Okay, she walked out of her house and she went missing completely. Her community is the one who pushed the, I'll be honest, I think even law enforcement to a higher level. And so Michael is going to be the same thing. It's going to depend on the community to push things. And so this is an idea for us to take forward. Those of you guys in advocacy for the missing, this is something we can push on. When we hear about someone going missing, okay, and we hear about posters, I make copies of the posters. You guys have seen here copies of some of the posters I make. And we try to do them in different sizes. You have the larger ones that can be printed. These are square because they fit well for Instagram. Again, different ways of sharing the face. And that's what's important here. And also, if you ever have the chance, be careful. On the other hand, GoFundMe's can be notoriously not real. Okay, so research, check. Is the GoFundMe being done by the, even this one, I did not believe until I verified with, okay, family or those who know family, that it was a real GoFundMe. Okay, check those things first all the time. But that's what some of these monies are going to help. It might help with the reward. Okay, you have rewards in all these cases. Even Keshaun's case, we have a reward. That reward is up to $22,500. Guys, rewards help, especially in cases where people are scared to come forward. They do make a difference. So if you guys please keep this in the back of your mind, because that was a wonderful idea when I saw it come out. So let's go on. What I want to do is real quickly, I want to at least let you know about Michael, and then we're going to move on to Keshaun. Um, but Michael is just in the last month has gone missing. Let's do this. Let me go backwards just a little bit. There we go. This is Michael. Michael went missing almost a month ago, May 22nd. It's being reported now because, guys, he's 21. As a 21-year-old, you're allowed to not talk to your family every single day. There were times, okay, that a lot of families, they don't hear from each other for a week or so at a time. And so Michael has been gone for that amount of time. But during that time, they've now realized there's been no phone activity, no bank account activity, or anything like that. However, until last week, text messages were being received. So they thought, okay, this is weird, but I'm not going to freak out yet because we're still, maybe he's busy, whatever. Well, over the last week, they realized something's wrong here. Okay, he's gone missing. They upped the ante and realized just how dangerous this has gotten. And so they put out the word. Michael, just so you guys know, is from College Station in Texas. College Station is, as you can tell by the name of the town, it's a college town. It's a wonderful area. In fact, I have family who live there. And it's a great place where a lot of college students come together. And as we've been talking lately, there's been a lot of college age students who are going missing in Texas. Now, yeah, it's definitely scary. And yeah, you got it, Lil. We're hoping he's okay, because hopefully he's just somewhere and he'll see how he's being missed right now, or maybe someone knows something and can speak up and bring some level of answers to his family so they can move forward on this. He basically has been living in, he started off back in 2021, 2022. He was a Texas A&M student. For those of you who are wondering, who else do we know of that's a Texas A&M student? Caleb is. Texas A&M has had a number of students go missing recently. Now, does that mean that there's a serial? No. It just means they're having a rash of these types of things. And they're coming, and what I can tell you about them is they've come together tightly as a college community and in fact, just this last weekend, Caleb had a huge group of people, okay, in my eyes, huge group, okay, show up and search for Caleb again. And so he was there before he then transferred over to Blinn in 2023. So right now, he does have some connections to Houston. So possible he's in Houston right now. We don't know what happened to make him go. In fact, there's very little info on him. That's why I'm starting with him, because it is such a short amount of information. He doesn't have a vehicle, so we can't track down vehicles. There has been no phone activity. Now, I don't know if police are now starting the process of getting pings and stuff like that. Hopefully they are doing that, but it takes a while to get all that stuff done. He was involved, it looks like, in esports. So for those of you who don't know what esports are and all that, esports are your electronic game type sports. Okay, and he was doing that heavily with TAMU, Blinn, Longhorn Esports. So hopefully he's out there. and is able to see that his family is looking for him now, or whoever may have been around him around May 22nd is when he was last talking to family. And they can call and let the police know, yeah, I spoke to him on the 22nd, the 21st, whatever. This is what was going on. So I've got that phone number here for anyone. The College Station PD, though, is 979-764-3600. So if you guys can help us out with that, huge, huge thing. And I'll let you know if I find out more, because there's very little, as this is just starting to be reported right now. So, but I wanted to get the poster out quickly. So let's move on to Keshaun now. Let me ask those of you who are in chat. I've been asking you guys in here how many, it's about a 50-50 as to who remembers. Okay, 57% of you don't remember Keshaun's case, and 43% of you do. So 50-50 on that. So Keshaun went missing. Let me change that picture of him up there. Keshaun went missing last year today, 1 year to the day. 15-year-old. Guys, this is a 15-year-old who went missing from Cleveland, who they actually activated an Amber Alert on. Now, normally when an Amber Alert occurs, you get people responding right away. Okay, the police, in fact, have said that. We've never had one go like this. Usually 5 to 6 days, you're getting answers and stuff like that. Here we are a year later, and Keshaun is still missing. So we've got to, at this point, they even themselves said the key is getting his face back out there. Because every single time, and you're going to hear this in what we're going to watch in a second, every single time Keshaun is covered on the news, they get more tips coming in because people remember things, or they've known something, but they've been scared to say something. And as time goes on, they may feel more comfortable speaking up. And hello, Robin, how you doing? There's my mouse. I'm like, why won't it move? Hey, Robin, how you doing, my dear? And also, yes, hello, Cassie. And so Keshaun, long story, before we go into this, just to give you guys the rundown on what happened with Keshaun, there is a reward, $22,500 for any information that leads to him. If the reward is not as much of a reason to call or anything like that, you can also call and make an anonymous tip. Okay, that is totally fine, and they will take that. And someone has got to know. Exactly. There's no way no one knows. Someone knows out there. Okay, Keshaun is one of the cases that I have covered that I kind of keep going back to regularly because I'm like, this doesn't make sense. That it's like Caleb. Someone has to know something out there. This one even more than Caleb's because he was with people the whole time. Okay, he had gone to a party. Okay, earlier that day, he had spent some time with his mom and all that, and his mom had actually done his hair, okay, and did his cornrows and all that you see in some of the, well, I don't have any of those pictures here, but that's how they were set up at the time. So, and then he had gone to a party. He was at that party, and somehow he got split from his friends. This is that everlasting comment that I always make. Never, ever, ever leave a friend at a party. Oh my gosh, my Scarlett. I love you, my dear. Ooh, you're on Zoom for work and finishing up. There you go. There you go. I love you, my dear. And yes, we got Robin here. We do. So he had gone to this party. It was in Cleveland Slavic Village, which is the southeast side of town. It's a kind of not necessarily the greatest side of town to be in, but still, it's the oldest area. And like most places, when you get to the oldest area of a town, that area is not usually the higher end areas. Okay, there was parties going on. He was in there with his friends. At some point, his friends left. Such a bad area. Yeah. And probably an adult at the party knows doesn't want to be in trouble. Just call anonymously. Exactly. Think about the peace you might I've had talks with families before about with a mom or a dad, usually a mom is who I've talked to in the past, about that thing about when does the thought process switch from I hope to get them home safely to I just want them home in whatever way that that happens. I just want them home. I want answers. I want to be able to go somewhere and at least be with that person, their loved one. And I think that's the thing. These anonymous people, even if you want to be anonymous, you're going to give that at this point. On the other hand, he could still be alive. There are actual things in my head that would lead him to still be alive, guys. I hate to put it, but it's like Maria. We've talked about Maria and the possibility of trafficking and stuff like that. You hate to say it, and I hate saying that because you never know when a family member is going to be watching. And I hate a family member to have to, but guess what? I don't think any family actually goes and doesn't think about those things. I'm not telling them something they've never thought of themselves. And, but we can sit and hope and pray, and we can pray like crazy. Okay. Hey, Smiley, how you doing, my dear? And while he was there, his friends decided to go from what we okay, what we know right now, and he decided to stay for a while. Like I said, number one mistake from every single time we hear of this case, and we hear of this type of case over and over. So and so disappeared after their friends left a party and they were left behind. We hear this over and over and over again. And hey, Tim, how you doing, Tim? Welcome, welcome. Over and over, we hear of this happening. Um, we know a couple things, okay, that happened after that are definites. At some point, Keshaun called his mom and asked, "Should I come home?" She said, "Yeah, definitely, come on home." She doesn't know whether he was still at the party at that time or not, but she's like, "Yeah, come on home." And the other thing that we do know is that around 1 a.m. that night, um, Keyshawn called his auntie. And when his auntie picked up the phone, Keyshawn was crying. Okay, sounds like he was crying pretty uncontrollably. Auntie couldn't even understand what he was trying to say to her. Okay, so something was happening, and exactly, Lil. I mean, even just that phone call, I mean, to know that your baby, okay, and this was Auntie, yes, but to know that someone you cared about was on the phone crying and you don't know how to help them at that point. So we don't know, was he still at the party? Was he not? There have been some tips that have come in that did not continue as tips. They looked into it, and from my understanding, okay, they were able to say, no, this did not happen, or they did not connect the two. Okay, it might have been someone else or something like that. One of those was people saying they saw him in a vehicle and he looked like he was beat up and tied up and beat up in the vehicle. Um, what I'm going to say again, there's been a lot of young men who go missing in Cleveland. Yeah, your oldest is 15. That's it. My brother is 50 years old and he's right now on the mainland. And she is like, he's still her baby. He's still her baby. Okay. Oh, were you guys talking about one of these cases? And there's so many of them that are so familiar, so similar in so many ways. And so we don't know what actually happened at that point. Did he connect in with the wrong group of people? And something happened there. Okay. Did he was it an alcohol or drug type of thing? What was it? We don't know. Okay. It does to me, Lil, it seems to me like that they think it is an abduction, an actual abduction. Guys, this is an Amber Alert that's 1 year old. Police don't call an Amber Alert on a 15-year-old. He's 17 now. But they don't call a 15-year-old an Amber Alert without a damn good reason. Okay. And there's nothing that can be done unless people start calling in hints right now. So, what I'm going to do real quickly, you cannot with young people, smiley, it's all very sad. Yeah. And so much happening, probably having a great night. I mean, literally, if you think about it, if his friends left and he wanted to stay there, he was probably having an amazing night. Think about the fun. I mean, anytime you've stayed after and you let your friends go, it's usually because you're having a blast and you don't want the night to end. And then his night turned into whatever it turned into. And oh, how sad, they started doing Amber here, trying to do them from state to state. You know what? I think there's a lot of good with the pushes on Amber Alerts. I think we need to look at federalizing Amber Alerts and working with them because they are starting to do more geographical ones, which is very good. Michelle, how you doing, my dear? And while I pull up this video, let me just a little bit about who Keshaun is. Okay, Keshaun definitely was well known, definitely well liked. I mean, he was getting into boxing, okay, and doing all those little activities to keep him busy. Okay, while he was in school and stuff, kind of getting, yeah, so easy to say behind, but you know what? They're lessons behind. Okay, hindsight things become lessons for the future and all. So, too young, yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. So many times, okay, and different I don't not cultures, areas of the country, different things. Okay. Also times. I right now here in Hawaii, I see people go out with my friends till 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'll see kids out there on weekends, and I'm like, what are you doing out there? But it's just a different way. You go out partying on the weekends now and it's just it's crazy, but that's what the norm is. And uh um and the problem is, as we know, the later things get, the more illicit activities become, and unfortunately, and yeah, exactly, you hit it right there perfectly. Different strokes for different folks. Exactly, exactly. And that's why I think learning the little things like never letting your party getting split up, those types of things, becomes Riley split from his party. Okay, how many different stories do we hear this about over and over and over? And also, he was really, really well loved. Okay, he used to go to church. I think it was with his auntie. Lil, not sure if you remember that or not, but I think it was his auntie and him, or maybe it was grandma, would go to church every single week, and he used to be out by the front door giving out, okay, the not missalettes, there's a word for it. Sorry, I'm spacing out on it, but he was giving these out to people and all that. Okay, he was active. He didn't just sit there in the church, he was active within the church. Okay, yeah. After party, yeah, there's different types of okay, you've got your party, then you got that after party. And that tends to be where a lot of the things happen. It's that split time. Okay, where everyone they finish hanging out at a party, and then they split off to either go, like you see, food shop, you want to, okay, you've been drinking and you want to get some food in you and all that and things, all those things. His community all seems devastated. He was really involved and seemed like, yeah, exactly. And that's it, Lil. And I think that's part of the thing that drive law enforcement crazy in this programs. There you go. Thank you, Michelle. And so I'm like, I go into my theater mode and I'm like, okay, wait, is this a program or is this okay, bulletin? That's the other word for it, bulletin. And also, ooh, what's this? FBI Honolulu. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry. We had massive power outages the other day, and everyone's wanting to know what the hell happened. And also, pre-games party, then the after party is usually, yeah, and that's when it tends to happen. So, but he was definitely loved, and that's what has made the difference with the police. We know it's normal. Christine is here. Hello, 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 Christine. We know that a lot of times that runaway word is used, and I hate it. I hate it because a runaway is in as much danger as anywhere else and anyone else. But again, you listen to the family. The family knows their loved one because Sean's family knew him. His friends knew him. This was not like Keshaun, and the police took that seriously. And they have been working on it since. So what I want to do right now, this is actually from 2 months ago, and I did not share it at the time. In fact, I didn't even notice it was out 2 months ago. So I was looking at it earlier today, and I was like, you know what, a lot of good comments coming out of this. It's not only the police talking about his case, but his mom is on this, and there's a lot of good comments coming out of it about social media, about, okay, all the things we talk about regularly. So I got that up. Let's, hopefully you guys can hear okay. Let me know if you can or not.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Chief John Majoy from the Newburgh Heights Police Department. I'm also the chairman of the Northeast Ohio Amber Alert Committee and the president
Yeah, I
of
got
the Board of
the
Directors for Cleveland
subtitles.
Missing. This morning's press conference, we're here to talk about the Amber Alert that is still active from June of
You're
2023
welcome, my dear. Thank you.
involving Keshaun Williams. If everybody remembers, there was a missing persons report started on June 17th, and then an Amber Alert followed up several days later, and it still remains an active alert to date. One of the things we want to focus on today is that there still is a reward of up to $22,500 for
Still there,
information
too.
leading to Keshaun's whereabouts. Now, one of the keys to this is that the reward money can remain anonymous. And so if there is someone out there who has information and you are reluctant to come forward for your own safety or something like that, we can guarantee that your identity will remain anonymous. And so you are welcome to come.
And I think that's what's going to be important in this case. The people that know what happened, my suspicion is, are in fear for their lives. The people who know what happened to Keshaun are scared for their own lives. I strongly believe this in this case. And those anonymous tips are what's going to make the difference. And Smiley, thank you so much. I'm trying. I'm right now okay, Soraya's case, I'm really trying to keep from crossing a line with. And I've been a little on the a little rowdy on that one myself. So, but yeah, thank you. Crystal clear. So, but yeah, I think someone out there knows, and hopefully with this 1 year anniversary happening, someone will realize 1 year is too long. Yep, the prayers meant they work. They do.
Come forward. I want to emphasize the United States Marshal Service and the Cleveland Division of Police are working very hard on this case. If you have any information whatsoever, you can call 1-866, the number 4, and then wanted. That's 866, number 4, and wanted. I think that there's a side of this that we also want to emphasize on today, and that is that there's a family out there that's hurting, and we need to help. And when I say we, I don't mean Cleveland Missing, I don't mean law enforcement. I need everybody who is watching this, who sees this, to know that we all need to come together to try to find Keshaun and bring him home to his mom. In a few minutes, Mom's going to come up here and she's going to talk about her purview of the case and how things are progressing.
His
we want to
mom
thank the
is
local media
fighting
for their
for him.
support during the last several months since this has begun. You've been fantastic to work with, and we appreciate you all being here today. This is really important for the family. This is really important for us as an organization, and we really, really want to hope that we can bring him home soon. That said, I'm going to introduce Sharice Snowden.
Now, Sharice is a fighter. She's a mama bear. She is a mama lion. And she has never, and that's what amazes me with every single parent out there that I see. I see certain parents that just, they are not going to give up. They are not going to give up. Okay, I just finished talking with one the other day who is working on getting, okay, laws changed in the name of her daughter. He needs a mama lioness. He does. He needs, because that's what's going to make the difference. Because someday that person who is scared for their life is going to be like, okay, I need to at least do something anonymously. I've got to do this at this point. And That's what will make the difference. Sharice is amazing.
And with her is going to be Sergeant Halaska from the Newburgh Heights Police Department. If you folks want to step up.
First of all, I just wanted to say it's been almost over a year since my son been gone, and this is completely disgusting. I want to reach out to the community to let you guys know this can be any one of your kids. I need my son to come back home. This social media game, this misleading stories is getting ridiculous, and I know y'all know something. So I don't know who got y'all scared to say something, but what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. I need my child to show up, not today, not tomorrow, right now, because I know somebody knows something. This is supposed to be about unity and about mindfulness, kindness, and it's just like, I don't understand why nobody would come forward and say something. This is a 17-year-old underage kid that's out here unsupervised. No more of the back and forth. I need to know where Keshaun is. If y'all know something, you can remain anonymous. It doesn't matter who said what, I need to know. Somebody knows something. If somebody out there have a heart, please, whoever my child is with, please return my child. He is underage. He has no business being out here without his parent. This is crazy. It's not safe, it's not cool. If anybody knows something, please come forward today. Keshaun, if you're watching this, I love you, and I'm going to find you, and I'm going to get you home safe.
I believe her. I believe her. You listen to that, and yeah, he was 15 at the time of disappearance. He's 17 now. 2 birthdays. Okay, I went 15. I've heard both. I may have one of those wrong. I know he's 17 now. I initially had him at 15 when he missed. When he went missing. I may have had that age wrong. Now that I think, because if it's only been 1 year exactly today, but you know, it don't matter. Okay, he was 16. Okay, he's 17 now. I believe her. She is going to keep speaking. Okay, she's going to speak, and she's going to speak until finally someone decides to actually act. So all it takes is one person to act. One person with just enough information, with the right hint, the right clue that will let the police start tracking in the right direction. Is it Lil? Okay, got it. Got it. It's in December. He just turned 16. Okay, perfect. And yeah, sometimes the dates kind of get weird with, especially initially. And I covered Keshaun because of the Amber Alert almost immediately. So some of the information may have been off when it first started. But yeah, and that's the other side of it. We pray all the time for the person who's missing. Guys, those prayers are for these people too. They're for mom, they're for dad, grandma, auntie, uncle, because they're the ones who are having to go day in, day out. And also, here, I'm going to go back to this.
Can we ask you any questions or no? Okay, thank you.
By the way, one of the things that she was talking about was the social media games. And that's what frustrates me beyond anything. What she's talking about are the people who decide they want to use this story, not for views and stuff. Yes, for views and all that too. But there's also a group out there who we don't see all the time ourselves out here, but the police see all the time. They will call in these clues, these hints, these tips, and they're total bogus to begin with. They're literally calling these things in to get the attention, or they will go on to Facebook or whatever, because now they get all this attention thrown at them. And it doesn't matter what the truth is to them. They're doing it for the attention. And yes, I'm saying that also happens on social media when it comes to coverage too. Totally. And but that's what she's getting on at here. It wastes the time of the police completely. So that's what they're kind of getting at with that.
Those heartfelt comments. As everybody can see, there's a family that's hurting here. And again, this is going to take all of us. and not just
It's
law enforcement, not just
sickening.
Cleveland Missing, but everybody who sees this, please come forward. 1-866, the number 4 and wanted. That is the United States Marshal Service. They're working closely with the Cleveland Division of Police, and they're looking for your tip.
What that's telling us, guys, the fact that the marshals are involved and all, is they do feel, okay, like Lila was saying, I think they feel that there's some level of potential abduction here. Potential, whether it was abduction then trafficking after that or something like that. Okay, now, is this something that's happening on a wider level in Cleveland? Possibly. Possibly. We have a lot of young males this age. And so they're taking this serious.
Tips. There's $22,500 in reward monies for this case. Please, if you know something, if you heard something, if you're not sure, no tip is too small, please call, make that call. Sometimes it's all it takes is one little cute incident, but I will tell you that we are not giving up hope in this case. We are not giving up hope. We've seen it in other cases. Our co-founder, Gina DeJesus, we've seen
Gina's
this in
done
other
an amazing
cases,
job
so
with what she
we want to
does.
let the public know, please come forward and please help us.
Gina is behind Cleveland Missing, and it's due to her and her group there that has put the attention out on the missing in Cleveland. Okay, supporting the families when someone does go missing like this. They are right there. Okay, earlier at the beginning of this live, I talked about posters and how expensive stuff costs. Every one of those, if you've ever tried to go and make copies at a Kinko's or whatever they're called on the mainland, they may be Kinko's on the mainland too. And they charge you what, 7-10 cents per page? So what do you think they're going to be? They're not giving, okay, yes, sometimes they will give, okay, free batch. We'll make 1,000 for you. 1,000 does not last that long. 1,000 posters are given away in one weekend. Okay, so that stuff continues to cost money. Cleveland Missing helps out with that. And so Gina, yeah, has done an amazing job.
I'll take any questions that you might have.
Are
So,
there
Brad?
active tips going on still, or are they dried up? Talk about some of the, where you're at now, right now, tips.
So I have spoken with the Marshal Service, and they do get tips. And every tip that comes in, they follow up on. And in fact, we received a tip here several months ago that was passed on to the Marshal Service and Cleveland Police Department. And so they do come in. But what really helps is that when people share this, when they see this story,
have a good night, Smiley. Talk to you later.
every time that there has been a media story, we start to get calls, and that is so important. So, social
That's the
media
key, guys.
is one of our biggest assets here. Take this story and share it, because maybe they didn't see the press conference, maybe they didn't get a chance to watch the news. Share this story with your contacts, and please do that, because nobody ever wants to be in the shoes that this mother is in. And so put yourself in her shoes for just a quick minute. What would you want people to do? And you would want their help. They could be strangers, and it's fine, because we're all good people. We just need your help.
Can you recap?
And that makes it, I hear that over and over. If you follow missing people, you hear that over and over. Every time something hits the media, okay, tips go through the roof. Every time you have, so that's why I was like, yeah, it's been a year, but you know what? I don't know if anyone else is covering Keshaun again right now. But you know what? Maybe if a couple of us start, others will, and we will get that push again. And because someone out there, again, they know it. They know something. They just need to freaking speak up. That's all.
The circumstances the last time he was seen,
So,
hours leading up to the last.
as much as I can share is that he was out with some friends on the evening of June 17th. And originally, when the Amber Alert was broadcasted, there was a suspected vehicle that was purported to have been involved in that. The investigation later showed that that was not involved, but that's not too terribly uncommon in an investigation where there's rabbit holes, if you will. And so we will go and follow up on every lead that we can possibly get as law enforcement. So he was out with some friends. It's my understanding that Cleveland has spoken with his friends. I don't know to what extent. I can't speak too in-depth the investigation because it's not our investigation. We are supporting the family, but all the same, I do believe that they're actively following all these leads every time that they come in.
And city and streets, whereabouts?
So the last known location was on Fleet Avenue in the 50s to 60s area, not too terribly far from here. And so there has been some canvassing done. We've sent out posters and everything else. There are flyers up at a number of locations. I look for us to probably do one of those again this spring. Again, just to keep the story alive, bring some awareness to this. All it takes is that one tip. Let's go to Brad.
The last time we talked, there was a frustration with a lack of any tips whatsoever, a lack of any leads. Have there been any sightings? Has there been any inkling as to where he might be?
There have not been any sightings that I'm aware of and that has been shared. And I do agree with you, the sense of frustration, because somebody knows something. That is inevitable. Somebody does. And it's a matter of getting to that person, whether they told somebody, the telephone line game, but somebody knows something, and those are the folks we need to come forward.
I know this isn't your investigation, but do they still think he's somewhere in Northeast Ohio, or are we past that point? Could he be elsewhere?
We have no reason to think that he has left the state at this point. However, again, we're not ruling out anything at this point.
Also, Sharice had mentioned some frustration with social media. You talked about it being a tool, but it can also be really frustrating for a parent. Can you give a message to anyone out there who's messing around with this?
Yeah, I can, and that is that maybe you follow the golden rule and do unto others as you would have done to yourself. Would you want someone going and throwing your family under the bus, talking negatively about your family, or embellishing on a story and casting blame? Really, nothing really matters. He's missing.
I'm stopping that right there. Ong family, please listen to what was just said there right now. Okay, it's not about character assassinations or anything like that. It's about a little girl, in this case, Soraya, who needs to be brought home. It's not about proving why, okay, someone would make it, that can be dealt with in court later on, but right now that 2-year-old girl needs to be brought home, plain and simple. Okay, I love this guy. Lil, I love this guy. And yep, prayers. And by the way, Lioness said, "Dear Heavenly Father, we beg of you, we humble ourselves. Please return this child to his family. Please, Lord, get this young man home. Dear Lord, please protect all children all over the world. Amen. Amen." Yeah, no, sorry. I know that has nothing to do with Keshaun, but I am so tired of people picking, and I don't even want to do it against the Ong family because they're going through stuff too. But right now, all that matters is this 2-year-old. That's all that matters. Is the 2-year-old who needs to be brought home, not any of stories or bringing this up or posting videos or anything like that. No, just bring her home. Sorry, back to this. I'm sorry about that, guys.
He's missing. The circumstance and everything else, he is missing. And we just want to bring him home. And so people that go, and we've seen this in other cases. We've seen this in the Amanda Dean case in a very egregious state where some folks on social media have tried to look at me and look at me. They want their 5 minutes of fame and they don't know what they're talking about. And they go and they cast a really negative light on this. And my response is, how would you feel if that was done to you? Because, that's not good people in my book. And
I really
so
like
to try
this
to
guy.
cast blame or anything else at this point, none of that really matters. We need to find out who was with him. We need to find out what happened to him, and we need to bring him home.
My last one. With Gina and also Amanda, obviously we know Michelle's situation, but one of the big things was the fact that we did all these anniversaries with them. How important is it to have Sharice's involvement like she's doing? Because that's hard enough to sit up there and talk. So how impressed are you that she continues to come out?
Well, I'm very impressed. And I've said this in other press conferences. I've been doing this a very long time. I don't know what it feels like. I don't. I'm not in their shoes.
Have a lost
And I
child.
pray that nobody else ever has to walk a mile or one step in their shoes
Some
for
of
that
you in
matter.
this community do
So I think that she's got more guts than any 5 people that I know to be able to come up here under this type of stressful situation and talk about her son who's missing for like 9 months. That's a lot. As a parent, I couldn't imagine, a couple hours, let alone days, weeks, and months. And so I do think it's very important that we focus on the anniversaries of these things. And again, the same thing with Gina and Michelle and Amanda's case, there was a lot of press on that, and that's good. It kept the story alive. And so this is what we want to do. We're going to stay with this case as long as it takes till we bring him home safe. So again, we appreciate the media's coverage, and I appreciate the question, because it takes a lot for a mom to get up here like she did. She's got a lot of courage to do that.
And I just had one question. Going back to the timeline, I know, like you said, this is not your investigation, but I just want to make sure when I'm going back and recording this today, there was witnesses that had seen at a party that he was possibly tied up in a car. Is that still true?
The thing I was talking
of the
about.
information that you guys have?
I don't know that to be true or not. That would be an answer to come from Cleveland or the Marshal Service. What I can say is that from the get-go, if you remember, that they had believed that there was a Jeep that was involved, like an SUV-style Jeep with a broken window out of it. And again, later the investigation turned out that it was not involved. And so, any investigation is an ebb and flow. It's also rabbit holes. But that's okay, because the end goal is to try to bring them home. So again, it's a fair question. It's a good question.
Tips, a good
but
tip.
really, I don't know what the
If it
actual
comes from some
circumstances
level of
are,
belief.
other than he's missing, and he's still missing, and we need to bring him home.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You mentioned you were gonna bring that
I think
placard
that's
up.
something else with tips I was going to say, because I think there's a couple different ways people come up with tips. You get some people who are scared to share the tip because they're scared for their life. Okay, I mean snitching, that type of thing. And I get that. I get that. That would be one of the worst. And I've had to go through that thought in my mind before. Okay, what would I say? What would I do? How would I go about it? Okay, would I have the balls to do it and speak up truth? And then you have others who are like, "Oh, I think this is a tip, but I don't know for sure. And I don't want the police to go off on a wild goose chase. So I'll just keep quiet about it because I really don't know for sure if that's what I saw." That's fine. That's fine. Let the police be the ones to make the decision. We used to say this in long-term care when we'd be talking about abuse. Okay, people would come to me and they'd say, I don't know if that is or not, and I don't want to ruin someone's job or something like that. I'm like, I don't know. Report it. Let the others go in and investigate and find out if it's true or not. You would rather err on the side of saving someone's life potentially, okay, than on the side of, oh gosh, I might upset someone else. Okay, it's more important that person who's in danger at the time.
Yeah, so we do have a poster. We'd like to just put it up here. I can hold it up or put it in front of the podium, whichever is. Okay. So I'm just going to hold this up here. Just want to remind members of the public that this is a little bit older picture. It's been 9 months, and so there could be changes in hairstyle, growth of facial hair. Him as a young boy, he could be another inch or two taller, and maybe packed down and lost a couple pounds. But all the same, if you see someone who resembles this individual,
Yep.
please call law
Bingo.
enforcement immediately. If you have a tip, please call law enforcement immediately. And again, that number is 1-866, the number 4 and wanted for the United States Marshal Service.
You got it, Christine. No problem.
Were
Yeah,
these
and
ones- These type of things we had posted as flyers, this is the same thing that was posted, this type of picture and everything?
Yeah, there's been a number of different posters throughout the last 9 months. And the reason why is because we don't want folks to just hone in on one specific picture.
yes.
Multiple purviews of it certainly helps.
I even found out when I was getting ready for this live, there's new pictures from what I had in the past. I initially only, when I opened, I have a folder for every person that I've covered on this channel. And when I opened up, the only picture I had was the one you see on this poster here. All of a sudden, I went into this one group, Facebook group that I did not belong to, I guess, initially. And there's 2 other pictures, the 2 that you're seeing on the right-hand side right now. Okay, the one of him sitting in front of the window and the one of him standing up. So you could actually see his physical body style at the time. Now, the problem is, like they're saying, when you've got a 15, 16-year-old, they're changing. Their body is changing. Okay, they're going from the scrawny preteen into the teen into the adults. So there's a change in musculature and things like, especially with men or young men. And so I noticed that there too. And it shows you slight differences in a person's face. Okay, when you see them in different angles and stuff like that. So there we go. Okay. And again, reminder, he went by the nickname Keith.
Everybody good? Any other
And,
questions, everybody? So again, on behalf of the Cleveland Police Department, United States Marshal Service, Cleveland Missing,
I'm
Northeast.
just going to finish that one up because it's just saying thank you to everyone and all. So, but that's what is going on with Keshaun. We have no new updates, but someone out there knows something about Keith. Someone out there knows something. Yep, find Keshaun Williams. And they know something about what happened that night between the time his friends left and the time that, why was he calling his mom, his auntie, in tears? What led a 15, 16-year-old boy, teenager, to call up auntie in tears, crying so hard that auntie could not understand what he was saying at the time? Something happened there. And I don't think that was an individual type thing. It was connected to someone he was talking to, okay, or something he saw or something. It's connected to something. And that person, whoever was on the other end of that, knows that or saw it from a third party. Someone out there saw something. And what we've got to do right now is start sharing that poster again. I don't care if it's my blue poster of him or if it's the poster you just saw that they have or another poster, someone, like they said, every single poster with every single different, because you know what also happens? If people start seeing the same poster over and over and over, they stop paying attention to what's happening and it kind of leaves their mind. They're like, oh yeah, I saw that a long time ago. But if they see different posters, and that's the reason why you share out tons of posters. Sorry, someone wanted to say hi, didn't you? Did you want to say hi? I think she's getting ready to go into heat. No, which is going to make fun in the house. And also, yes, okay, you can sit with mommy. How's that? You can sit with mommy then. So, sharing what we can on that. Sharing what we can on Michael here. Michael is now missing. Okay. Michael has been gone for almost a month. His family is just starting that horrible ride of a missing loved one that Keshaun's mom has had to go through for the last year. So the sooner we can share his stuff out, the better. And I will have those shared out on Facebook in the group. Okay, Local My Life Facebook group. So please consider going over there. If you're not subbed, sub so that you can download pictures and share those out that way also. And yeah, just all those things that you can do within that. I also wanted it take, yeah, and that's it. That's what's so frustrating in all these cases. One person is all it takes to break a case open. One. They see something, they say something. Most of the time it can be done anonymously because any answer is better than no answer. And so see something, say something, let people know what's going on. And the case of Soraya, she's still missing. There's still tons of stuff going on. I did pin the GoFundMe for the group that is family members that are trying to actually bring attention to her being missing, that are working with law enforcement to bring her home safely. Because like I said, anytime you're on the run, you're not safe. You are not safe. Okay, if you're on the run, there's too many things that can happen. And all that matters at this point is bringing this little cute, adorable thing home. I mean, she's absolutely adorable. And we're at the point now her mom wants to know that she's safe, she's healthy, She had those healthcare issues and she wants to just make sure, okay, that's fine. Is she okay? No one's leaving any messages on that. And let me see if I had anything else. I think that was Maria was the other one I wanted to mention real quickly. Maria has been gone now for almost 3 weeks in Gainesville. The police are just as concerned about her and the potential of her being abducted. I think that's the direction they're leading right now, also in this case, is that she's been abducted, whether it was a lure abduction, trafficking, or what. It basically, someone has her most likely right now, and she doesn't have the freedom to leave. And so getting her face out there as far as possible is good at this point. Just be that one person to speak up. And also, again, like I mentioned earlier, for those of you who did not get to see this earlier, one of the great patriotism, how you doing, my dear? And I came across this earlier for Maria. And it's a wonderful thing for those of you who talk to anyone who is Seal is how dare you be late, girl? You know what time I no problem. Actually, I'm happy. This is a good time. Patriotism and Seal, you're two of the people that I wanted to see this actually. This was shared on Maria's group. Someone ordered Uber Eats, DoorDash, something like that. And when their food was delivered, they were welcomed to a bag with Maria's poster taped to it. We hear about posters being taped all over on windows and stuff like that, but I've never seen this done. And this is probably one of the best ways you can get words out to people. Okay, people who may not necessarily be catching the news or walking out and seeing posters everywhere else. Yes, this is what costs money. This is why people need to have things like GoFundMe's and stuff put together. Because that one piece of paper probably costs between 7 and 10 cents. And if you're doing that times 4,000, add up what that cost is. But it's a wonderful idea. You have people go missing in your neighborhood. That is something I would suggest. So, but yeah, that I'm happy you guys were able to catch that before we finished up. Other than that, I think Sleuth and I were going to try to get back to our normal schedule this week unless something happens. It's always possible something's going to happen, but you never know. And Caleb Harris update. Now, I don't have anything new on Caleb other than they did have a search for him actually over the weekend. In fact, someone called it like a sauna search because it was so hot out at the time. Actually, it was in looking for an update for him that I came across Michael, who I spoke about earlier. Let me pull this back to Michael right there. Michael is also a Texas A&M student who has gone missing. We don't have the same stuff like fishing and all that, but still, definitely. Prayers make it. Okay, and Keshaun's answer is out there. I don't want to be here 1 year from now doing another live about Keshaun. He needs to be brought home in one way or another. So, but yeah, Caleb, from my understanding right now, not much on real updates other than they're still out there. Okay, like Sharice. Sharice is out there all the time, making sure we're talking, making sure we're looking, making sure people know if you know something, because Caleb's case, someone out there knows something. Someone out there knows something, no matter what, because I don't see at this point something happening to him and nothing, no answers. Okay, most likely someone would have seen something. And we just, again, got to find that person. That person is out there and they need to speak up at this point. I'll keep an eye out because, yeah, I'm trying to, and this is, I do want to ask you guys this. If you guys ever hear updates, I have a couple people who are wonderful at giving me updates. Okay, some wonderful people who will give me updates regularly. With me and my regular job, okay, I'm kind of work a couple different contract things. Thank you. Actually, Seal, that's the other thing I was going to say. If any of you would like to join our community, please consider joining our community. It helps me, okay, in being able to focus on doing what I'm doing here in all honesty. And it also helps in getting information out and helping families. Okay, on occasion, there's been sometimes I want to help families out. I'm right now trying to work with Gianna's family. For those of you who remember Gianna, um, because she needs to be put to rest, and we're trying to work on some things. So if any of you guys would like to join, oh, Seal, thank you. Thank you, and I love you, my dear. I love you, and thank you for doing that. Who got it, by the way? Who got it? Sorry. Christine got it. Yes. Chris, hey, Cassie, you got to say welcome. Welcome, Christine. Cassie's like, what are you doing to me? Thank you, Seal and Christine. Welcome to the welcome, welcome, welcome. But if you read anything, if you hear of any updates to a case that you know that we've talked about, or even cases that we haven't talked about, please send me, okay, at my email. You can send me at my email, thelocalmylife@gmail.com. If you are in the Facebook group, you can post something to the Facebook group or even message me through there. I've got both my accounts connected through there. Because I will be honest, there are times I'm so busy during the day. Most of those of you guys that I talk to know how busy I can get. And sometimes I miss updates. And someone will tell me, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. There's an update and I didn't know. And a lot of times they're good updates and I miss them. So send those to me if you can. I really would appreciate that. And Discord, yes, Discord. I've been really bad about lately. Let me see if I can share that with you guys real quick. I wish I could come up with one stupid location where I can go to everything, all of the different platforms in one area. It would be so nice if I could do that. Okay, here we go. Let me actually put this in StreamYard so it'll post it to both locations. There is this week's invite to Discord. And if you do become a member, I'm trying to come up with different special things to do for membership. When I go on my cruise in about a month, I am going to be doing some special uploads just for members. And also, kind of like I did last time, I've now made those public so that anyone who wasn't there last year can now watch what I did last year. But I do want to do something like this year and maybe even more. So what is it? Another one. I know there's too many platforms for me right now. There's way too many platforms, if that's what you're meaning. That's the problem. Oh my God, if they could come up with some way to have one app that would do Discord, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. That's why I used to have Twitch. I stopped Twitch. I'm still there, but whatever. And also, another cruise. Yes. Actually, we weren't going to do it, gang, until next year. My mom wanted to do a family. It was her 80th birthday, and she wanted to do something just for the family. And we were going to do a cruise next summer, not this summer. But she got worried that what if I'm not around in a year and all that? And I love cruising. If you've never cruised, guys, it's the best. It is the best way to vacation in the world. I love it. And I went on to Norwegian Cruise Lines, who I do all of my cruising through them, for like 10, 15 years now. And I went and checked what was going on. And I found this awesome, awesome sale from New York to Reykjavik. So Iceland and all that. So we're going to fly from here to New York, where we're going to hook up with my niece. It's me, my mom, my brother, and my niece, just the four of us. And we are going to sail. It's going to be freezing. Guys, I live in Hawaii. I don't have winter clothes. And it snowed in Iceland a few weeks ago. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do. You went there. Is that where we went on a voyage for a blues cruise? Oh my God, that would be so much fun. See, I've never done any of the theme type ones, but I love cruise. In fact, I loved it so much last time. That's why I did the streams that I did last time, the videos, because I love it so much. Okay, there's so many different things you can do, okay, and keep busy with. The food, I actually lose weight when I cruise because I'm just walking everywhere. I'm all over the place. This one's going to be interesting because I don't know if mom can actually do a lot of the activities. She's very worried about that. So my brother and my niece, I'm going to have do all the excursions. He and I may switch up at times, but it is just so much. What was yours? It was the Joe Bonamassa, Keeping the Blues. Oh, see, we need a true crime cruise. I mean, I think there's got to be some good things. You're you're kidding me. First of all, if you're coming and you're going to be on my island, we got to connect up. And August is getting a little on the warm side, but for us, warm is not, depending where you're from. Okay, summer, August, you're probably getting upper 80s to lower to mid 90s. The problem is humidity. If the humidity is not bad, you will probably not be too bad. Um, Definitely connect with me. Okay, I'll have to let you know things depending on what island you're going to that you can try to go do instead of the normal touristy things. There's a way to see Hawaii without doing the touristy type things. But it's yeah, shouldn't be too bad. I will be honest, August, September, October are our hottest months, but you're at the early end, so you should be good. Yeah, I think a true crime cruise would be so much fun. I am excited next year. Crime Con's going to be in Denver next fall. Well, not next fall, but the fall after that. But I mean, literally, if any of you guys ever want to put together an NCL cruise for a bunch of us, I'm game. We have an inter-island cruise where you literally go to every single island in the chain. They also have a longer one that takes you to French Tahiti and all. I haven't done that one yet, but that's why I cruise in CL so much. My dad used to have to go on dialysis, so cruising was a great way to do that. Okay, the family would go off and do excursions or whatever, and dad would go to dialysis, but we still got our vacation in. So it was so cool. But yeah, true crime cruise would be so much. Oh my, hey, I'm serious. I'm serious. I mean, if we got enough of us together interested, okay, I don't know when we do it. It might be something we'd have to probably plan like 9 months in advance at least. But I think it would be so much fun for all of us to get together. And yeah, for those of you who have ever wanted to come to Hawaii, anytime you come to Hawaii, let me know. And so, anyhow, on that note, I do probably need to get going. I keep saying I'm going. It's like me earlier when I was talking to one of you guys that were in chat earlier. I was talking to someone and it's like, I got to go. And we kept talking. Okay, I got to go. This time I really got to go. No. Anyone who knows me knows I can't shut up. It's a problem, a real problem. Like, oh, hey, yes. I said time to go. If you're ever looking for a good, if you like medical TV shows and stuff, hit the like, please. Yes, and by the way, hi, Mama, I love you, girl. And if you like medical type things, I found the cool. Oh my god, it's called The Resident. It's on Netflix, and it is so. It's like ER meets House. If you've ever watched it, let me know in Facebook or Discord so we can talk about it because I'm halfway through the seasons. I just had a huge thing happen when I watched it last night. So I'm in season 5. So pretty good. So, but anyhow, I'm out of here this time. I keep saying I'm out of here. I do mean it this time. I love you. And Seal, thank you so much for gifting the membership. I really do appreciate every membership. I really honestly do, guys. And I need to come up with ways that I can thank you guys for that. So let me know. Love y'all all. And I will talk to y'all later. Aloha and maha.